Okay, so today we're going to look at using the normal distribution to find probabilities. So you can find the probability that x will fall in a given interval by calculating the area under the normal curve for the given interval. To find the area under any normal curve, you can first convert the upper and the lower bounds of the interval to z-scores. So we're going to be using our z-score formula. Z equals x minus mu divided by sigma. All right, so for this first one, a survey indicates that people use their computers an average of 2.4 years before upgrading to a new machine. The standard deviation is half a year. A computer owner is selected at random. Find the probability that he or she will use it for fewer than 2 years before upgrading. All right, so here's what we know. We know the average, or the mean, is 2.4. And we know that our standard deviation, sigma, is a half. And what we're asked to find is the probability that x is fewer or less than 2. Okay. So first thing we need to do is find our z-score. So we're going to take 2 minus our mean of 2.4 and divide by a half. Okay. And remember our rounding rule. We're always going to round to 2 decimal places. And so here our z-score is negative 0.8. So I'm going to rewrite our inequality as being the probability that z is less than negative 0.8. And then I'm going to sketch our curve. Okay, so this is on our z, 0, and we're looking at negative 0.8. I'm going to shade everything to the left. All right, so when we're finding the area to the left, remember that's going to match our table. So I'm going to go over here. We're already on the negative side of the normal distribution table. And we're going to look for negative 0.80, which would be 0.211. And that is our probability. And that is our answer. Okay. All right, let's look at the second example. The average speed of vehicles traveling on a stretch of highway is 67 miles per hour with a standard deviation of 3.5 miles per hour. So our mean is 67 and our standard deviation is 3.5. A vehicle is selected at random. What is the probability that it's violating the 70 mile per hour speed limit? Okay. So we're finding the probability that the speed x is greater than 70. Because if you're violating the speed limit, you're going over. Okay. So start off with finding your z-score. So we're going to do 70 minus 67 divided by 3.5. Oh, sorry. So 70 minus 67 is 3 divided by 3.5. Round to 2 decimal places, we get approximately 0.86. So I'm going to rewrite that. This probability becomes the probability that z is greater than 0.86. But remember, when we find the probability to the right, so I'm going to sketch that. When we find the probability to the right, we're actually doing 1 minus the probability to the left. Okay, so looking over here, oops, helps if I do that the correct way. There. All right, so 0.86. So remember, our table always shows us to the left, so 0.86 is going to give us an area of 0.8051. Okay, if you need to, in this empty white space, show that that's what the area is. Because so that way you remember that's why you're doing the 1 minus. Okay, so if we take 1 minus that, we get 0.1949. Okay. All right, so these last two we're going to save for tomorrow in class, but if you want, go ahead and try them on your own.